So our charity of the week all this week is Naseem's Manx Brain Tumour Charity. We've been hearing from Gerry Pishvaie. So Gerry, tell us about Naseem.
Well, she was a lovely character, very, very supportive to her friends and was much loved by her family. Very talented artist, dancer, singer. Naseem was always beautiful and remarkable, but the depth of her beauty was never more apparent than in the courage with which she faced her illness. But she was the kind of character that would stand out in a crowd, and she was always the one that would sort anyone's problems out if they had any. But a lovely girl, very, very proud that she was my daughter and best friend.
And I think she'd clearly be very proud of what you're doing now, because you're doing what you've just described of her, really, and that you are now helping others with this charity that's in her name.
Yes, well, we have to remember that the charity was inaugurated on the day that she died, but she was probably the force behind the charity in that she wanted its starting up, because when we came back from Liverpool after the diagnosis, there was nowhere here that could offer us any support on, where to go if you'd been diagnosed with a brain tumour. So that was one of the reasons that the charity was set up, and offering funds, obviously. I mean, it just gives somebody a lot of comfort if they don't have to worry about how they're going to pay for accommodation costs if they have to go away for treatment and bring their family members over with them. So, there were lots of issues around no information available out there. So that was one of the forces behind starting up the charity in the first instance, and that's something that she wanted.
So we're actually now in a much better position than we were back then. So you've obviously been part of this change. So how would you say, what are some of the sort of biggest developments over the years that have made things easier for people?
We're quite lucky in the links that we have with the three major charities that I've spoken about. Just having the signs and symptoms leaflets out there, because we'd never heard of a brain tumour before Naseem was diagnosed in 2006. So I think that there is much more awareness out there now. And on our website, as you see, I mean, those Head Smart campaign leaflets talk about signs and symptoms in babies, in children, in teens, in adults. And, if you've got a persistent headache, or you've got problems with your vision and your balance, and you're not quite sure, what's going on, go out and speak to your doctor, get checked. If you're still worried, insist on an MRI, and I'm pretty sure your doctor will refer you for that, and it can save lives if it's detected early. So that's one of the reasons why our charity's been so successful, in that we've encouraged people to go out there and get checked, and we are in touch with people who have done that, and it has saved lives. So that's one of the best things that's happened, really.
So how many people would you say tend to be affected by brain tumours? Have you got any idea how many people on the Isle of Man?
Well, the exact figure isn't known, Christy, but we did put a Freedom of Information request into the Department of Health and Social Care, asking for the last 10 years figures. And according to their records, they gave us the information of 122. But we do know that there are others who have been impacted by a brain tumour. So I wouldn't say that was the exact figure.
And you will be attending the event at the Comis. There is a World Cancer Day event on Saturday, February the 4th, so fast approaching.
Oh yes, we'll be there with information about our charity and the other three charities that we work with. So looking forward to the event. Looking forward to meeting the speakers, because apparently there's some really interesting speakers coming over for that, and on Ireland, obviously. So looking forward to it.
And you mentioned these Head Smart leaflets that sound like they're really crucial bits of information, these, aren't they? So where can people get their hands on them?
They've all been revamped. We took part in that focus group with the Brain Tumour Charity, and they're on our website under the Signs and Symptoms page. You can see them there. And also we'll have them at the Nobles Hospital foyer for Brain Tumour Awareness Month in March.
And treatments have progressed so much over the years, haven't they?
Treatments have progressed so much over the years, and this proton beam therapy treatment is very targeted. Whereas before you'd have a mask that would beam the radiotherapy into the point of the brain tumour. Now the proton beam can even go in more discreetly, should I say. So they've made great advances with proton therapy. And as I said before, that we've actually funded some research into that with Clatterbridge Cancer Charity. There's still no cure for brain tumours, however, but we hope and pray, and that's why we are committed to giving funds for research to the various institutions that we support in the UK, and clinical trials also, that we can pick and choose who we want to donate to based on their proposals to us.
Yeah. And one thing I wanted to ask you about, Gerry, was because my uncle had a brain tumour some years ago, but it was discovered by his optician. And that's something that can actually really help, can't it? Getting your eyes seen on a regular basis.
Absolutely. And we've also had referrals come through from somebody that's been to an optician as well. So yes, opticians have got amazing skills, and they've got all the necessary equipment to see what's going on behind the eye. So yeah, get your eyes checked regularly. It's so important.
So if someone was looking for support from you, you've mentioned the fact that obviously you support people financially or with equipment or whatever. How do they do that?
Oh, we have an application form. They can download that from our website, PDF or in Word version. We're happy to talk to people. We have a referral process where we can refer people for psychological therapies, because sometimes if you have a brain tumour that is malignant and the prognosis isn't very good, you can't wait weeks and weeks to be seen. So we have a referral process that you can be seen very, very quickly. So it's the same with our funding. If you message us on, say, Monday night, we can have a check to you by Wednesday. That quick.
And then I suppose the question I would want to finish with is what sort of advice you might have for any families that are going through a brain tumour journey at the moment.
Well, I wouldn't Google it, to be honest. I'd speak to your doctor. I mean, I was always armed with a pad and a pen when I went to see Naseem's Dr. Haylock in Clatterbridge, and write down everything you possibly can. Don't be afraid, because not all brain tumours are malignant. Some are benign. I met a lady on the beach when I was walking the dog the other day, and she was telling me that she had a brain tumour, which was benign. So, it's not all doom and gloom. Don't be afraid. Get in touch with your doctor, and also have a look at the web pages that the Brain Tumour Charity produce, Brain Trust, Brain Tumour Research, and also from a local point of view, Naseem's Manx Brain Tumour Charity, because there's lots of information on there as well.